Let me tell y'all something right now. You never really know your family till money's on the table. I'm a 72-year-old grandma, born and raised in Queens, and honey, I didn't become a millionaire by sitting around crocheting doilies. Nah. I built my empire one rental property at a time, scrubbing floors, flipping brownstones, and learning fast that in New York City, you either hustle or get hustled. So, before this story takes a turn for the wild, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, 'cause I've got 1,000 more jaw-droppers where this one came from. All right, buckle up. Back then, life was good. Too good. I had my son, Marcus, my only baby, my pride and joy. He was a corporate type, wore suits tighter than a church budget, and talked like he had stock quotes for breakfast. He married this girl named Tiffany. All pearls, perfume, and phoniness. You know the type. Smiled like an angel, but her eyes were doing math on your net worth. At first, I tried to give her a chance. Lord knows I did. She'd come over to my townhouse on Park Avenue, bat those fake lashes, and say, "Oh, Mama Ruth, you're so inspiring. I hope I can be just like you when I'm your age." I'd laugh and say, "Well, baby, that means you better get up early and stay up late, 'cause I didn't get here sleep until noon." But behind that smile, I saw it. That little flicker of envy. The kind that makes people do stupid, dangerous things. Tiffany didn't just want to be me. She wanted to own what I had. Every property, every dollar, every ounce of respect I'd built over decades. And Marcus? Lord help him. That boy was blind as a bat in love. He worshipped her like she invented Wi-Fi. Then one night things got strange. I was hosting a small dinner party. A few old friends, my accountant, Marcus and Tiffany. She offered to help in the kitchen, and I thought, well, ain't that sweet? Except, when I took a sip of the tea she brought me, my throat burned like hellfire. I coughed so hard I nearly saw Jesus. She panicked. Oh, she acted it out beautifully. "Oh my God, Mama Ruth, are you okay? Maybe you swallowed wrong?" "Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure, girl. I swallowed wrong." Later, I found the same tea bag she used. But that smell? Bitter almonds. If you know, you know. I didn't say a word that night. I just watched her laugh and flirt with my son, pretending to be some dainty little housewife. But my gut told me that woman was up to something wicked. Couple weeks later, she invited me over to their place in Brooklyn Heights. "Let's do brunch, Mama Ruth," she said. "Just us girls." Now, I ain't stupid. When a woman who low-key hates you wants to feed you, you bring your own snacks. So I showed up with a granola bar in my purse and a smile on my face. Everything looked perfect. Too perfect. The table was set like we were shooting a commercial. Mimosas, fruit salad, avocado toast, the whole 9 yards. But what caught my eye was the eggs. She placed them in front of me like they were a peace offering. "Try them. I made 'em special for you," she said. Now, I might be old, but my nose works fine. There was something off about that smell. Faint, but chemical. So while she turned her back to grab her phone, I swapped my plate with hers. Quiet, quick, and clean. Few bites later, she starts coughing, eyes watering, face pale. "Oh, Tiffany," I said. "You okay, sugar? Maybe you swallowed wrong." She glared at me, and that mask finally cracked. That's when I knew. This wasn't paranoia. This was survival. Later that night, I told Marcus everything. He stared at me like I'd grown horns. "Ma, come on," he said. "Tiffany wouldn't hurt you. You've just never liked her." "Oh no, baby," I told him. "I liked her fine till she tried to season my eggs with death." But he wouldn't hear it. She had him wrapped tighter than saran wrap. That's when I realized I couldn't count on my son. If I wanted to stay alive, I'd have to start playing her game, and play it better. Tiffany doubled down after that. She started visiting me more, bringing casseroles, checking in, calling me Mom. Fake sweetness dripping off every word. And Marcus? He kept saying, "See? She's trying, Ma. Give her a break." Oh, I was gonna give her a break, all right. The kind that snaps her plans clean in half. One evening, I was coming home from my evening walk. I stepped onto my front stoop and slipped. Hard. Turns out, the marble was slicked with oil. Now, who oils marble stairs? Nobody sane, I'll tell you that. I caught the railing just in time, and there she was, standing across the street, pretending to walk her little designer dog. Smiling, watching. Next day, she brought me flowers. "Mama Ruth, I heard you fell." "Oh my God, I was so worried." "Sure you were, sweetheart." Probably disappointed I didn't break my neck. That night, I called my lawyer, old friend named Benny who owed me a favor or two. "Benny," I said, "you remember those trust papers for Marcus?" He said, "Yeah." "Well," I told him, "we might need to make some amendments." Now, Benny, bless his old Italian heart, didn't ask too many questions. He knew when I got that tone in my voice. Someone was about to regret underestimating me. We got those papers updated so slick and silent you'd think the devil himself was my notary. I made sure my assets were protected, real estate, accounts, all of it. But I didn't tell a soul, not Marcus, not even my hairdresser, and that woman knows everything. A few nights later, I got a surprise dinner invite from my son. "We want to make things right, Ma," he said. "Tiffany made reservations at that rooftop place downtown." I knew better than to turn down a setup. Sometimes you gotta walk into the lion's den just to count how many teeth it's got. We get there. She's all dressed up like she's about to walk the red carpet. Tight dress, fake smile, champagne in hand. We order food, and the waiter brings us drinks. She raises her glass. "To family," she says. Now, the second that glass touched my lips, my throat felt funny again. That same metallic burn from before. I didn't swallow. Just dabbed my napkin, smiled, and said, "You go ahead and finish mine, sweetheart. You've earned it." She hesitated, then faked a sip. I caught it. She was slick, but not slick enough for Grandma Ruth. The next day, I paid a visit to my friend over at the precinct, Detective Carla James. Sharp as a blade and twice as dangerous. I told her everything. The tea, the eggs, the fall, the champagne. She listened real close, then said, "Ruth, if she's trying to kill you, we need proof. Real proof." And that's when my next plan was born. If Tiffany wanted to play dirty, I'd play smart. Now y'all ever seen a 70-year-old with a spy kit? Because I sure looked ridiculous sneaking through Best Buy. Buying hidden cameras like I was on a mission from the CIA, I planted them everywhere. In the kitchen, by the tea shelf, near the stairway, even in the garden shed. And to sell it, I started acting weak. Limping, forgetful, sweet old poor me routine. Oh, Tiffany loved it. "Don't worry, Mama Ruth, I'll take care of everything," she said. That's code for, I'm about to take everything. She started visiting daily, cooking, cleaning, checking my medicine cabinet. But see, my medicine bottles weren't what she thought. I swapped the labels and cameras caught every move. One afternoon, I watched from the other room as she pulled out a little vial, poured it into my tea, stirred it, smiled at the camera she didn't know was there. That was it. The smoking gun. And when she left, I sent the footage straight to Detective Carla. But we weren't done yet. Oh no. I wanted her to think she'd won first, so I started acting sick, real sick, coughing, pale face, telling Marcus, "Baby, I don't think I got much time left." He panicked. Tiffany faked sympathy. "Oh, we'll take care of you, Mama Ruth, don't you worry." Inside, I was smiling, because that was exactly what I wanted her to do. A week later, Tiffany threw what she called a family farewell dinner. She said, "It's time we all make peace." She invited my accountant, my lawyer, even my neighbor, the one who doesn't miss a thing. That woman's nosy enough to see through walls. I showed up in my best fur coat, looking like death with diamonds. Everyone toasted, smiled, and Tiffany handed me a special slice of pie. The cameras, hidden in my brooch and purse, caught every second. Just as she leaned in, whispering, "You'll be at peace soon, Mama Ruth." The front door burst open. Detective Carla, 2 cops, and Benny the lawyer stepped in like it was a Broadway finale. Carla slammed a folder on the table. Screenshots, videos, timestamps. Tiffany froze. Marcus went pale. "Mrs. Turner," Carla said, "you're under arrest for attempted murder." Tiffany tried to play dumb. What? That's insane." "Oh, honey," I said, leaning back. "You should have checked the angles. My kitchen got more cameras than Times Square. They cuffed her right there. Mascara running like cheap paint." Marcus sat there, shaking his head. "Ma, I didn't believe you." I patted his hand. "You weren't supposed to, baby. She had to think I was helpless. But the real twist? That hadn't even been the grand finale. See, a week before that dinner, I'd already pulled one last move, a masterstroke, if I do say so myself. I transferred every property, every account, every share into a charitable trust for single mothers, veterans, and senior housing, meaning even if Tiffany had succeeded, she'd get nothing but my bad attitude in spirit form. The day after her arrest, I called the press, 'cause what's justice without a little publicity? Headline read, "Millionaire Grandma outsmarts her killer daughter-in-law in hidden camera sting." Marcus eventually came around. Took him time, but blood runs deep even when it's bruised. Now he visits every Sunday. No Tiffany, no poison, just peace. Sometimes people ask if I forgive her. I say, "Sweetheart, forgiveness is free, but trust? That costs millions." So now I sip my tea, fresh, non-toxic, feed my cat, and enjoy the view from my penthouse. Life's quiet, safe, and a little sweeter when you know you earned every second of it. And as for Tiffany, last I heard, she's teaching anger management classes in county jail. Guess that's karma with a manicure. So that's how my gold-diggin' daughter-in-law tried to bury me early. But I dug my way right back to the top, baby. If you liked this wild ride, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more real-life stories that'll make your jaw drop and your tea spill. 'Cause this grandma, she's just getting started.